This is my review of this advent calendar that contains 24 family games. When I first opened the box, let's look at it. Kind of slides out. So you see you have individual boxes for each day. The other thing is that you have this manual which gives you a description for each day, how to play it, and let's find this too. And the box themselves contain a QR code, so you can go onto the website. If you happen to lose this manual or it gets ruined, it's no big deal because everything in the manual can be found through this QR code as well. But the quality of the products I found were varied. So day 1 and 2 are your jacks and your mini bowling. I was really impressed with the quality, and so it gave me a very good impression of this set. These are hard plastic little bowling balls, and these as well are very nice, and a nice little toy that presumably you could use year after year. I discovered that the activities themselves, it's called games, but not all of them are games. They are divided between 3 different types of play. So there's indoor play, active play, and what I'm calling activities. And so as you can see, I've listed here, indoor play, you've got 16 different game days that would be in the category indoor play. So on day 9, for example, it's got marbles. And I've made notes here too, so let's just talk about that. On day 9, they don't have even numbers of the colors. So you get 20 marbles, which would be enough for 5 for 4 players or 4 for 5 players. But there's only 4 different colors, and there's not 5 of each color. I moved a few of the boxes and I've set them here on this board. I wanted to talk to you about days 13 and 17. Both of these have magnets in them. So day 13 is tic-tac-toe. This is another one that is designed to be played with just 2 people. However, you can divide your family into 2 teams, and if you have an odd number on one team, then you can have rotating teams as you play this game. But one of the things that concerned me, and it seems like the X's and the O's are not as fragile as the dominoes, is that the cardboard, I was going to call it backing, but it's like filling. So you've got this cardboard pasted onto this magnetic back, and if you look at it, you can see how it's pulling apart. So my solution, just take a little bit of clear fingernail polish and just paint those edges. That's where it was pulling apart, so I'm squeezing it a little bit. And then just let it dry. And that way your little game pieces are going to stay nice for a lot longer. The other thing I wanted to show you is the quality of the cards for day 11. They're very small. You can also see that I just ripped the box. And so it really occurs to me that this set is not intended perhaps to be used more than once, but they're small and they're actually just paper. I ripped this one earlier, so it tears very easily. So if you are going to play these games year after year, you might want to laminate these or replace them with a regular deck of playing cards. Also, this game, Day 15, Cat's Cradle, is only designed for 2 players. So all you have here is just one loop, one rope that's looped together. So you can make yourself some extras. It doesn't have to be smooth like this. You can just knot some yarn or ribbon so that everybody in the family can play, although it is a 2-person activity. So you're going to have to divide in groups of 2s, and if you have an odd number, you're going to have to be creative about having another role for the person who isn't actually interacting at the time. I guess they can be the game caller, like you would have doing square dance. They could call out the moves. Lastly, I wanted to talk to you about this 21, Doodle a Droodle. So the website explains Droodle is a combination between a doodle and a riddle. It's just a tablet, it's just paper. But again, if you could laminate these or put a clear plastic sheet on top of it, like even a page protector, then you could use your dry erase markers and you could use these games multiple times. That it came with only 4 candles. So if you have 5 or more in your family, you can do like I did. This was my experiment to see if I could cut the candle, and the answer is yes. So I just used a knife and cut it. You'll probably have to put a groove in it to hold your thread. I think I've also heard about it being played with clothespins. This game is the one I was saying. It's called Find It, and you just have basically hidden pictures. But the QR code will give you clues if you get stuck. To make it more fun and interactive, you could have a race to see who can find their hidden image first. And I did have a concern about activity number 14. Let's just look in the manual for this one. It's called Truth or Dare Spin the Bottle version. And basically, it's like the traditional spin the bottle. I was a little concerned about that particular game. What else? Active play, Jumpsies, yeah. This one has an elastic, which typically requires 2 people with holding the elastic in between their legs and the person in the middle jumping between the elastics or the rope. If you have fewer players, you could use chair legs, or you could have one. You could have everyone get in line, I guess, and use 2 chair legs, so everyone can take a turn. But anyway, that's something to consider for activity number 6. The other thing I wanted to show you is day 24. It's called Donkey's Tail. It's basically pin the tail on the donkey. And I am spoiled by having advent calendars have sort of the big, great activity on day 24. So it does open up. It's just paper though, like glossy finish. But as you can see, I put one here. It ripped with me trying to pull it off of the sheet. You have to be very careful so that one comes off nicely. But be careful, go slowly, because they do rip. And as far as if this thing is reusable or not, see, it's already ripped there. That's something else. So if you would like to reuse your Advent calendar the following year, again, you're gonna want to laminate it so that it stays in good shape. And even though I'm getting it off without ripping the paper, it still doesn't look as nice as it would if you laminated it. The other suggestion I have is to, instead of having this on day 24, day 23 is making cootie catcher like this. I don't know if you remember these from your childhood. We'll just go ahead and do one right now. But you put the different questions or activities, etc., in these spaces here. You write down on each side. But my idea is to actually use it for day 24 and have fun and generous things to do for Christmas. So you'll have to use your imagination on what you're going to put in those slots. But with the right tasks and activities, it could be a lot of fun and a super fun way to end your 24 days of family fun.